Everybody welcome. Rules like this get a hella huh. Everybody welcome. Rosa psychic investigator. So make up here. Hello. So guys, how are you doing today, huh? Not really. So it's been a long day. It's one of those days when I'm doing a late video. Um now that I'm very committed to walking, it's well, that's an excuse, isn't it? And I'm doing my keto diet. It's sometimes not my appetite. I just don't feel like eating very much. It's tomorrow. It'll be 22 days. I feel good. I feel good. I think that the whole uh, sugar thing. It's really made a big difference in my life. But anyway, so I will, walk and everything, and I just sometimes I get a little tired. I need to, because the thing with these diets is I have to regulate the salt, right? Because you lose once you have very low, you're not producing as much insulin because you're not eating, barely eating any carbohydrates. Then you lose water, right? Because the insulin has this it really does have a function of uh, holding on to water. Okay, so you can lose salt, but not at this. But at this point, it's sort of fairly regulated. But still, anyway, what am I talking about? It's almost midnight. My favorite time. My favorite hour. My favorite hour. Close to midnight. Close to midnight. My favorite hour. My favorite hour. Close to midnight. Close to midnight. Huh. Okay. I'm not, I don't drink because, I really don't drink, but it's exciting. So, guys, there's so much to talk about. The days are so intense, right? So intense. But let's get started. Turn on the fan. I have to give it 1 second. It's actually a bit cool in a good way, but I wanted to also my hair recommendation series. So another product that I like to recommend. Carol's daughter, mimosa hair honey. Carol's daughter. No, so somebody who was a hairdresser, I don't remember her name, commented. She said, Rosie, I'm coming from a hairdresser. That is a leave-in conditioner. You don't put it on your dry hair. I forgot about that. That's true. But you know what it is? My hair, especially when I come from outside, is wet because, I sweat or whatever. So I can put in because it's wet. And I was like, oh, it feels so silky. But when it was totally dry, I was like, oh, so weird. But this product that I recently got also, look, the consistency. It's very, look, it smells good. It does feel like honey and like shea butter, has that consistency. So it's also glossy and soft. But you see my hair is maybe there's a bit too much product, but that's okay. And by the way, I do this, but earlier my hair looks curly, right? But somebody also responded to another comment about the Revlon hairbrush / dryer. That thing, whenever it came out, I mean, apparently it's been around for decades, but there was a trend, right? And that's how I found out about it, the new trend a few years ago. It's incredible. For me, it's amazing. It really, because it makes your hair smooth without, like back in the day, I used to use a flat iron. That is not normal. Like, it's just not, that hair dryer thing, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's a brush that has this sounds like a hair dryer. It's so good. It's so very good. So anyways, you guys are asking me because people were happy about my recommendations, the ones that needed it, and I'm giving it back to you guys, Because doesn't it look nice, shiny? Because normally it's like, and someone's like, oh, Rosie, I want to see your natural curls. My natural curls are like puff. It's not really that natural. Like, honestly, my hair is not that curly. You see, it's kind of like this. At the bottom it is, and underneath it's more curly. But outside is not. I don't know what. Anyway, this is not a hair channel. This is not what you're watching right now. But let's go. Guys, so much heavy stuff going on under the protection. I like to ask for protection. A beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head. As I breathe in, I feel my lungs. As I breathe out, I create a circle. I create a circle, I step into it. I step into it, I feel protected. I step into it, I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that I create the good and only the good for the good people, the good for the good people. Okay, I have Jet here and Kyanite. Is that Kyanite? Yeah, I get it confused with Kanzite. Kyanite is good for communications. So anyway, so let's get going here. Let's get going here, girl. Hmm? Hmm? Okay, I'm a little off topic today. So many different. It's interesting. I kind of like that to be like this because I'm not as intense. So I have to tell you something because I'm getting this back again, guys. I hope. Are you familiar with Gilda Radner, the comedian Gilda Radner? She passed away from cancer. I'm sure you. Rosanna and Anna, remember Rosanna? Rosanna and Anna. I think what was it? But anyway, I love her. It's been a while. I watched her documentary many times, but it's a long story. So as you know, I have this a comedian side, right? I love to make the voices and everything. And and near me, there's a, a place called Gilda's Way, a little street, like a corner of a little street here, like next to Film Forum. Because that's I think they sold the building, but that was an organization she created. So I always think of her. And she came to me recently. I was talking to Corina, and she's like, Rosie, because I have that was my thing, honestly, ever since I was little, is the comedian, not comedian like stand-up comedian, but the to play the characters. So she encouraged me to start a channel just as a character, not like this is my comedy channel, but like my name is Natasha. I'm here to write. So already being that person. So I have to do that. Because she just came here. She came back right now. She's like, Rosie, where's my channel? Where's my channel? Remember? She's really pushing me to do it. And it's so I have to do it to remind me. Just so I can do the different characters that come up. They each have a channel. It would be like, you know what it would be, guys? It would be like one of those, you know how Russian propaganda has like those characters, and I mean, obviously I don't speak Russian, but I'll be like, today Americans are trying to take out our values. We have the right. We have the right to throw bombing. Yes, we do. We have a right to do it. So anyway, she gets anyway. So that was just to tell whatever. See, late my mind is going places very like woo, 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 woo. But that's exciting. I have to remember to do it, and it will be like just a few minutes, kind of like how I read the news here. It will be the news from the perspective of. I just have to come up with a name. Natasha is too obvious, isn't it? Natalia, Masha, Masha, Mush Putin, Mush. What is that name? Suggest a name for me. Orosh, Matrinovska. What is that? What is it? What is those dolls? Matrina. What is it? Don't talk about the dolls. Anyway, so I have to start the channel. Ah, like so I can make I can make faces just for a couple minutes every. It's very short. So anyway, just to avoid. I'm here saying all this to avoid the topic of today because it's intense. But let's do it. Okay. I did do the protection because I talked about it. Okay. So okay today. So today, guys, there was, of course, the Epstein victims press conference. I watched some of it, and and as this was happening, and this is like Thank God we're all in this together because it's almost like, is it real? Of course it is 100% real. So Trash sends airplane to fly over. He yesterday had announced they're going to do that just so they're literally silenced. Can't believe it. Like, but that's who he is. That's who he is. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? I'm putting, because I look and then someone's like, what is it? You always look at yourself. It's so disgusting. I know. I put wax on my hair here, wax. So it's not, see, it stays. This is a magic. This one is a holy grail product. Murray Superior hairdressing pomade. Murray Superior hairdressing pomade. I use Murray wax. It's pretty hard and sticky. Uh-huh. I use Murray's wax, the old fashioned kind. It keeps my fly hairs in place, even in the summer. Huh? It keeps my fly hairs in place, even in the height of the summer. It helps with pin-up hairstyles. It keeps your hair in place. It helps with pin-up styles. It keeps your hair in place. The name of the pomade is Morris. Superior dressing pomade. The name of the pomade is Morris. Morris Superior Hair Pomade. They're not paying me, by the way. I do it out of love for the love for the product. I love product. Okay. Let's go back to the topic. So, okay, so Epstein's breast conference. So, guys, Trash sends the airplane. Going back, it's almost like I have multiple personalities. No, don't. So, what were we talking about? And now change the subject. I'll go back to the main road here. So he sends the planes, and they were so they wouldn't be literally wouldn't be heard. And this is the guy, right? This is the man. This is the man. And then I don't know, guys, the whole thing, Marjorie Taylor Greene of all people, she really like actually, I don't know, does she really, I find it so bizarre. She refuses to blame Trump. She says, I called people over in the White House and they were refused to name the names of the victims. I don't know how she doesn't talk quite like that, but really, that has nothing to do with President Trump. It was people in the White House. They were refusing. They were refusing to share their names of the perpetrators. Like, I don't know, what the hell? Like, seriously, do you really like? Come on. Who do you think sent the airplanes? What the hell, Marjorie? It wasn't him. It was the secretary and his chief of staff. They telling him not to release them files. Like, really, how? Let me ask, how? What the hell is up with her? Really, like, she was very well spoken. Actually, I'm mocking her because this is what I read about her excuse, right? Um, MTG. What the hell? This is the thing. Does she not? She's very pro Trump and she's saying all of this. Does she actually believe it? Yes, she does. It's saying she's not lying, like saying that she's not pretending to, like, she's a bit of a wrestler. She's very much like a wrestler character, but she actually believes I'm helping President Trump beat those people who want to stop the Christian America. So, so she actually believes it. Does she not see? Come on. So what's up with her? What was she doing? Okay, she thinks that this is the whole thing that's gonna sink them Democrats and liberals. It's there was a problem with the lifestyle. when you go to those damn liberal cities and the coasts, Los Angeles, California, the land of the devil, New York City. I remember I didn't take a picture, but today I was, because I committed to walking over here. There was a man actually dressed in a devil costume, completely naked. It was a village, but it was funny. I was like, oh, it really is a devil town, city, the devil town, devil's town over here. So anyway, so she thinks that this is it's like a moral crusade for her, which is again, I don't get it. But it's seen that's kind of that's how these conservatives are. It's all about some sort of like they take on this moral high road and they think this is the main issue that's going to turn America the other direction. So, but she worked for her, you know what I'm saying? Okay, let's not make it about her. But so what happened actually between her and the Trump administration? Listen, oh, she was like yelling at him, Stephen Mailer. They know who you're talking to. I'm talking here. I'm, I'm telling you, I ain't voting for this. I'm voting for the bill. I'm voting for the bill. You're not stopping me from voting for the bill. So she's yelling. And they're like, they don't quite know how to deal with her because they use when she's the Tea Party person, right? But it's like she was radicalized with all of that. And she's going all in. Okay. Okay. Anyway, continuing here. Continuing. So it was a weird day. So now let's go to Trump. Let's say Trump's reaction and the whole airplane story. I mean, it happened. Can you believe it? Someone told me that. I was like, no, it's too, it would be like, oh no, nobody would, if you put it in a movie, it's like, no, that's too obvious. No way. No, no, they would never do that. They would know. There would be no, 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 no. Okay. So, okay. So anyway, so what was Trump's reaction? No, he's already, I see that he's kind of in between. And he is between like the fears that he's had are living out. Like he's a con man, he's a liar. But now the truth about who he is coming out. That's who he is. Everybody has known. There's plenty of evidence. Also, all kinds of pictures of him dancing with Jeffrey Epstein and all that. And but he thinks again, like a lot of he's a very, very gifted, one of the world's greatest con man of all time, right? Like he really is able to tell you to your face something when he's lying, pretending to be somebody he's not. So he doesn't really like. So what is I was saying he created a narrative. That's the one that he wants you to believe, and he threatens people that speak about who he really is, and he was threatening that he was literally silencing them. And the one part I caught of the conference, of the press conference, the one of the women was saying that she was crying. She said she was in, I think, Palm Beach. She was giving massages, right? And she was so disgusted, but he kept calling her over and over. She didn't have money. He was like, I'll give you $200. This is her story. I'll give you to Epstein. He told her, I'll give you $200 if you find more girls. So she would go to find the girls from her high school, and she would hope that it would end. And can you imagine, like $200? I mean, the other time it was a lot more than it is now, but it's so sad. And of course, he always picked the women that came from like family, didn't have a lot of money, right? Especially in that area that is very wealthy. Um, this is like, and she said that she went to the police, is the thing I was thinking, and they treated her like a criminal. And that's the story all throughout history. A man commits crimes, and the women are the ones blamed for it. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. And again, he's like, oh, let me put the airplane through. So, so it's saying that yes, he's a perpetrator, and he wants to continue to do it, right? And he doesn't really think he's done something wrong because he feels entitled. People are objects, He exists to exploit people. And that's like something he's proud of, to be honest. Okay. So that's what I get here. So, okay. And the other thing I wanted to tell you is that what I picked up, okay, is that, okay, here it is. The other thing I picked up as I turned it on, immediately I got that they're not going to be silenced anymore. That no matter what they do, they try to do to harm them, they will not succeed because the cat is out of the bag now and it can't go, it just can't go back. The momentum is really on the side of the victims. So they will be named. Okay. And there's way too much support and there's too many of them that they can't be silenced anymore. So it's this business of abusing women, and they are the ones that keep the the poison. You know what I mean? Like there they were innocent and they were abused or whatever. You know, they were forced into this thing, and it's just like so creepy and scary. And they're the ones that are ashamed. So it's not gonna work anymore. Okay. Now, so this is it. It's not gonna go away at all. Now, so then the question is, what? Let's say, guys, there's so much that's related to this, and the question is, um, what's next? Okay. And did you see? Oh my God, did you see that? By the way, as I remembering all the things, I do keep like bookmarks. Okay, so as the day progresses, but it's so much that sometimes you can't. So he's asking the Supreme Court to overturn the verdict on E.G. Carroll. Okay. Oh, is that her name? Sometimes I'm like, is it late? So, but it was out today. Okay, this. So before I get into that, let's ask what will be next. What's next for Trump regarding Epstein? No, no. But I see these papers flying, and it's all these book pages and pages and pages, and he can't grab. He can't with his tiny little hands. He can't grab more than one. Oh, oh, oh. He tries to grab, and it's all out there. And you know, it's interesting that sometimes with these visions, they mix with the imagery of Lenormand. And Lenormand, the book card means secret. So it's like the book is not just any book, it's the secrets are out. They're all out. And people are pointing and they're laughing at him. Oh, and I was talking to somebody today, by the way, I was reading. I was going to ask her. I think it's okay. There was nothing identifiable, but it was interesting asking questions about. She asked somebody on the other side about the situation that we're living through. And one of the answers that I got also was this image of a theater backdrop, you know, wooden painted backdrop. And Trump was behind it. It's like barefoot behind it. He's moving the backdrops, moving. And then he gets dizzy. He's ill now. He can't move the backdrops anymore, so that he's hidden. He stays behind the backdrops. And what are these backdrops? Are there stories and the this information, the line, all of it? So I asked, and then he shows that eventually he gets dizzy. He can't move those backdrops anymore. And then they like you see that he's behind the backdrop naked. The emperor has no clothes, right? So the truth about who he really is comes out. He uses all of it to hide who he is. And truth about his relationship with Epstein and who he has been this whole time is coming out. And I don't think, I know some people think that he's dead. I don't think he's dead. I think he's quite ill. But I just, guys, I want him to live to see his downfall. Let me ask this, actually. Because I don't want him to have a state burial or something like that. I want him to be exposed. Okay, so will Trump live to see his downfall? He'll be very ill, but he'll have to be dragged out of there, even if it's in a wheelchair. And that's what we want, right? Is like that he's dragged out of there, even if it's barely conscious, but still sees himself and the truth about who he is. Yes. And I see even that, I see that he's like in the one I told you before. This was like, guys, I have to find the video of him in the padded room. This is like 2018 or something. I saw it. But he's there in this hospital. He could see through outside, outdoors. And there's people protesting. He's like, oh, he can't escape it. The anger towards him is immense. Because then I see that they have to screen the nurses and doctors because he is so hated. Okay. So, so, so that's this part. Now let me go, guys. You know, I talk about so much. I want to make sure I don't forget some of the important things here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Sorry. I was looking up restaurants. And when Karina comes, I was like, oh my God, where are we going to go for breakfast? What are we going to do? Okay. So, anyway. Okay. All right. So, anyway. So, here, Trump says he will ask the U.S. Supreme Court to reverse his $5 million sexual abuse and defamation judgment against him in New York. Writer E. Jean Carroll's civil lawsuit for newly docketed court filing. So it's like the day that where the women speak, right? This happens. So it really is disgusting, right? So actually, let me copy this. Just one second. Copy this. Okay. So is this going to happen? I see that they're scratching it off. I wonder if they will say something like this is not a matter, this is like it has nothing to do with him being president. Are they gonna give him what he wants? He's angry. I don't think. See, this is what's crazy. He's trying to say he would know who he is, and I don't think it's going to work. And it may be that by the time this actually gets heard, it will be too late for him anyway. So is it? Yeah, I see that she's like quietly and faithful, but yeah, like so this makes sense. She's quietly faithful, but like she wins in the end. I think it's possible that she couldn't. I think he would be it's for the Supreme Court to. It's possible, but I feel like that is maybe something that isn't. It's like no, because he wasn't president, right? Because the whole thing is like no, but uh, we let him have superpowers, but I don't feel like it will happen. I feel like they may delay this to another time. By the time this is delayed, he's no longer president. Okay, so I think it'd be a slow it'll be slow for her, but it's possible that it will not be overturned. Okay. All right. So let's see next because I wanted to talk about other things. All right. This is, guys, oh no, thank God. Did I? Oh, yes, I did. Did I? Okay. Because I separated earlier today, but from us, I had to be perfect at it. Otherwise, I click and I forget or whatever. So, okay. So this is about the tariffs. Okay. Oh, not like, okay. So let's see here. Trump will ask Supreme Court on expedited ruling on tariffs appeals. So we know that the appeals court ruled against Trump because obviously we know that he is all about destroying the country. So let's see here. Did I not copy? Okay. So what will be the outcome of this? Yeah, when I asked earlier, I was talking to somebody. I asked, or yesterday we talked about it, I think. I saw this like the tariffs as the appeals court just chose like these walls that were tilted down. And I see that the Supreme Court, I think they side with the appeals court. I don't feel like it's, what did I say? I see the guy, what's his name? Alito. Oh, Alito. Clarence Thomas and the other guy, Neil something. I don't, but Neil Gorsuch is very pro business. I don't feel like it goes very far. Okay. And he's furious. And so are the Russians, right? Because we know this, the goal of this administration is to destroy country. And he doesn't succeed. This, it's like it makes him, they know that even the people inside his administration know that the days are counting. The days are counted. Is that right? The clock is ticking. Okay, so that is story. That's story. Okay. All right. So right, all 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 right, huh, all right, huh. So all right. So guys, also I've regarding the which that I talked about at length with Karina also. So there's increasing evidence that there's more to this story, right? That somebody, I think Lisa Skyfall, something, Lisa Murray, I think her name is. I watched her video. And well, actually, I'm sorry. What I did watch her video, but I want to talk about something she posted, which was a picture of a statue that was on the first thing that was on the thing that sorry. I also talked about what one viewer had sent me, right? Which was that that there was the feed that stopped and then went back, and I took a. She sent me a screenshot. I didn't take a screenshot, unfortunately, but it looked the podium looked different, and there was this big statue behind it. And on the day that they showed the video, it wasn't on it. So there definitely is a sense of some kind of there's a delay, okay, and it's interesting. I'm being reminded of um, the fact that actually, guys, I went to the when there was a Jeffrey Epstein trial. I went one, I think it was one day, not two. And I wasn't early enough to be able to get a seat inside the main courtroom, but I went to one of the overflow rooms, and the overflow rooms had screens. So it was broadcast to these overflow rooms, and it's saying similar. Like I think the press, I don't know that most of them were. Someone said that they were led to a room that had video only. It wasn't like, does it make sense? I don't know if this is, they can corroborate that, but the whole thing is just very, it's not normal. Something is very off there. Okay. All right. Okay. So, okay. Oh, and something else about Canada. You know what, guys? I forgot to do this. So, uh, actually, let me see. So this is okay. So now, so this was somebody sent me this. I thought it was very interesting because we know that the whole thing is like Russia is pushing this. Trump is being very aggressive against Canada, which is like Canada does not deserve this, by the way. So somebody, I think Canadian, sent me this. And what's significant here is that they're trying to bribe this is the separatists. Remember like what happened in Ukraine, right? There's this area that wants to quote unquote so wants to separate from Ukraine, and it's not. It's like now they started to do this in Canada. Okay, here it is. Private details from a Washington, D.C. meeting about Alberta becoming the 51st state were revealed at a separatism event attended by Dismog. I don't know who this person is, but I trust that it's a Canadian politician. I met senior U.S. administrative officials just a couple steps away from the president himself. Recall Dennis Modry, the former CEO of the Alberta Prosperity Project, a group devoted to pushing Alberta towards self-determination through a provincial referendum. Modry was a member of the Commonwealth of Alberta delegation to Washington that in April revealed travel to the U.S. Capitol to outline the supposed benefits a sovereign Alberta and its vast energy resources can provide to the United States. We talked about a $500 million transition loan that we would only draw down on as necessary as we work with the U.S. to transition from a province to a country, said Modry. He also claimed that they discussed a plan to prop up Alberta's currency, where the U.S. agrees to take every Alberta citizen's Canadian dollar and then exchange it for one U.S. dollar. Okay. The prospect of America recognizing Alberta as the 51st state isn't currently on the table, but it could be if separatists manage to get enough signatures to trigger a referendum declaring Alberta's sovereignty from Canada and then win enough votes to pass the referendum, he added. Okay. So this is a big deal because it's a bribe and it aligns with Russia's strategies. It's funny, right? Not funny, but this is a reality we're dealing with. In order to understand what Trump is doing, we have to look at Russia because that's who he works for. So that's right. They want to create a trouble at the border, and it's saying cause conflict, constant conflict, and fear. So how far? What is this? Tell me about what actually he's correct. He's saying that's right. He was correct. And I see that he's saying it because there was a beef or something. There was something. He wants to say that he has more information. And I see that Canada is also the Canadian like intelligence services are working against these traitors, right? Because they know exactly. I mean, everybody knows what happens in these areas. It's sort of like he wants to do it. Well, there is this Luhansk, Donetsk regions in Ukraine where, but at least you could say there were some Russians there. They were more pro-Russian than pro-Ukraine. You could argue that, but it's similar. They want to foment division so that, right, to create tension. And so how far is this going to go? It's saying that Canada will prosecute these people and so will eventually the US. Because it's saying it's a bit like, it's funny, how they talk about civil war, but what they're doing is like a civil war. Like they want to create secessions, they want to create divisions in the country without necessarily the aggressive arms, but with the help of a foreign country, right? Because Kaizen was saying they don't want the Yankee values, they want the Southern values. And it reminds me, guys, that the Portuguese king invited people from the southern US to move to Brazil, and they created a town called Americana, literally, where they have festivals with the Confederates. Because Brazil at the time still had slavery was legal there. So nice people, no. So it's just gross, but that's what it is. It's saying that, and I see that it's funny. The spirits of the whole Confederate thing are very like, ha, ha, ha. They use fear and intimidation, and they don't want to. That's why it's so old fashioned. It goes back to these hundreds of years ago, and they just still haven't moved on. But we're gonna have to. I feel like we're going to be okay eventually because those people can't survive without us, really, financially, right? Without the liberal states, the US would be probably like a third world country, right? That's a fact. They don't, nobody, you never see that on television, right? No, but, uh, but that's it. So it's saying that it's not going to go that far, and they will be known, they would go down in history books as traitors, especially in Canada. I think they're going to go to prison. So, okay. All right, 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 all right. Okay, so this is a photo today. Okay, so I get what is the message saying? Well, I see that Jean McCain is here. What do you want to say, Jean McCain? He's like, thank you. But what do you mean? What is it? It's gonna be okay. And he shows me an image when he was leaving. He was coming back to the U.S. after being in prison for 10 years or however long he was. And he mocked. Remember, he mocked him. Oh my God, that's sickening traitor. You know why that is, right? Because he was against Russia. And that's why Trump always see this is how Trump is a Russian, like the Portuguese president said, é russo ativo, he said. He's an active Russian. É russo ativo, an active Russian. So that's the story. So I'm gonna go for today. And now that Cinderella time has passed. Okay? All right, guys. See you later, alligators. Have a good evening. And okay. Oh yeah. All right. Okay. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. 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 At a normal time, God willing.